Welcome to the 8th and last in a series of Weston Historical Society videos commemorating the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution, produced with the help of Weston Media Center. In the previous episode, Isaac Jones, the Golden Ball Tavern innkeeper, had hosted two British spies sent to gather information about the roads to Worcester, which was one of the main locations of supplies for the provincial army. On another trip, the spies gathered information about supplies in Concord. General Gage made plans for 800 British soldiers to march to Concord and seize the military stores. Gage did not expect that the rebels would dare take up arms against the king. As we know, Paul Revere rode from Boston to Lexington and Concord, spreading the alarm. In the dead of night, British troops started marching the 15 miles to Concord. News of the troop movements reached Weston on the morning of April 19th. Samuel Lamson, captain of one of the two Weston militia companies, began assembling his men on a field near his house in the town center. His grandson, Colonel Daniel S. Lamson, later recorded the 103 names in his History of the Town of Weston. Reverend Samuel Woodward is said to have sent his wife, children, and a cow into the woods where they would be safe. Ms. Woodward reportedly seized a skillet, telling the children they might need it. Then the parson hurried to Lamson's field, said a prayer, and picked up his gun. The men set off to Concord, shown with an orange dotted line on this map. Along the way, they learned that the British had left Concord, so they changed course and headed to Lexington on a route shown here in pink. The Weston men found a demoralized British army in disorderly retreat, being fired upon by snipers. They joined in chasing the British soldiers back to Boston. This is a map of the British retreat. So ended the first day of the American Revolution. The Americans had proved their willingness and ability to organize and to fight. More than a year later, on the 8th day of September 1776, from the pulpit of the Weston Meeting House, Reverend Samuel Woodward read the Declaration of Independence. In 1896, Colonel Daniel S. Lamson reported for the Committee on Marking the Graves of Soldiers of the Revolution that 187 men from Weston had served in the war. Only 63 graves were found, the majority with no headstones. The committee purchased markers from the Society of the Sons of the American Revolution. Because of its location on what we now call Boston Post Road, Weston had a front seat to history. In June 1775, George Washington passed through Weston on his way to Cambridge to take command of the Patriot Army. This marker is located next to the Josiah Smith Tavern. In January 1776, Colonel Henry Knox and his men passed through Weston, hauling the cannons from Fort Ticonderoga that were used to liberate Boston. The Knox Monument is located in Knox Park in the town center. And in 1777, after the British defeat at Saratoga, General John Burgoyne's defeated troops camped in Weston on their way to Cambridge. The Burgoyne elm marking the site became Weston's symbol of liberty. The venerable elm succumbed to Dutch elm disease in the 1960s. A new disease-resistant Burgoyne elm was recently planted near the original location next to the Fisk Law Office.